I'm the BTCReaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Over on Dixie for the daily, it does look like we got the retest of our channel, so I would watch for a continuation, but it may not be as likely. We will have to watch very closely on lower time frames. If VWAP did break bearish, momentum is rolling away, stochastic is dropping, RSI is dropping due to the stochastic. Ooh, excuse me, and money flow is starting to push down. So overall, I would exercise caution. Over on the 1 hour here, we do have a consistent low with back here, and we are trying to push forward. So that may mean we have met some support in this range, and we may get a bump forward. So the MPP does say we may see a lower high. Watch for a lower high. This may be it right here. And then we could see a rejection from there unless we keep consolidating. Remember, if we keep going sideways consolidation, then we can make a little mini bull flag. It would help give us a bullish continuation, as we would get higher highs and higher lows that would not connect. That VWAP is just on the edge of that neutral, so I would watch that VWAP very close. It needs to make a bounce here if momentum is going to push forward to give money flow the green strength and push those higher time frames forward. Right now, the way the daily looks, if we get a strong red candle in, that VWAP could break that neutral and we could tumble downward. So that would be positive for the crypto market, because remember, usually when Dixie goes up, crypto goes down and vice versa. So over on Bitcoin dominance for the day, we are hitting that value area high, retesting it. Just watch for a lower high. If we get a lower high here, we could start a bearish continuation and see a breakaway. Remember, that would be positive for altcoins, as we could get alt season once dominance isn't very strong. Remember, that means Bitcoin can still go up. It just won't go up as much as your altcoins. VWAP is breaking through that neutral, so I would watch. That could push us forward and give us bullish momentum here. Momentum does want to push up with the green dot. So it does look like we may gain some strength. If we get higher highs and higher lows, then our altcoins just won't outpace Bitcoin, and we won't get an alt season yet. So over on the daily, does look like we filled our max possibility right around that 106, and we got rejected. So we will delete this channel. Now, actually, we'll keep that so you can see how you could have used any confirmations that may have appeared. Our stochastic is pretty flat. RSI is pretty flat. Momentum is running up. VWAP is bullish, but it's starting to come back down. We could make a higher low. That would be positive, as a higher low would keep us bullish, keeping momentum in bullish territory and keeping that money flow green to push us forward still. MPP does say we could pull back, but if we see that bullish momentum stay on these lower time frames, then we could invalidate that. So over on the 1 hour, our stochastic is dropping away. RSI is starting to fall. Momentum is rounding. That VWAP is breaking down. We have lower lows and lower highs, so I would exercise caution. It is creating a bit of a bearish trend. And if we stay below this neutral, momentum will fall away. Money flow can go from green to red. And once that money flow is red for several hours, that's where those higher time frames will reject away. So we do look like we're on a little bit on edge with the market right now. The MPP does say there was a chance of getting a higher high. We got the higher high with higher lows. So we have a little bit of a bullish continuation trying to form here. But I would just watch. It does say we may make a drop. We are pretty much filling that drop opportunity. So if we bounce off here and continue forward without breaking, I'd say around that 103, then we could still have a bullish continuation, providing the highs and lows do not connect out. So over on this pattern, we could draw this out. You would have had your breakout here, and then a retest here, and then a little bit of a bounce. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Don't know what just happened. Everything went black, but so we could have had a little bit of a bounce here, but now that bounce is looking a little indecisive. So we have lower highs with consistent lows. This could create a descending triangle. That descending triangle could bring us back into this range. And if we fell back into that range, then we could see some lower price action, but we would need that VWAP to stay bearish as well. So keep an eye on both of those things. So over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we got very quick push up. So again, when you shoot it up very quick, you can end up retracing. Keep that in mind as we look over the next few days. VWAP does want to push up. Momentum is trying to break into bullish territory. Money flow is green. Stochastic and RSI are pushing forward. So the daily does have some strength, but is projecting we could end up falling away from this current candle. So I would just err on the side of caution. And if you took a position where you're hoping we'd get that run up after the consolidation, maybe take your initial and some profit out. Over on the 1 hour, our momentum is starting to roll away. Stochastic is falling, RSI is dropping. VWAP is in the bearish territory, so watch that VWAP. If it gets lower lows and lower highs from here, we will see momentum continue lower. Money flow will go into the red, and then we would break down. The MPP does say there's a high chance of getting a higher low. So if we get a higher low right around that 100K, that'd be a good area to pull back to, make a bounce, and continue forward from. And then we could see those higher probabilities. I wouldn't say we'd see the 151K like the MPP is saying right here, but it is still a possibility. That would be quite the run, and that would be a very good day for most of us. So over on Bitcoin for the daily, stochastic does want round, RSI is pushing up, money flow is in the green, VWAP is staying bullish, momentum is bullish. So overall, we do look positive here, providing lower time frames can maintain that. Over on the 1 hour, we did get a better retest and a bounce. So this is more where you'd want to watch. This is where you broke out your pattern. You pulled back, got that retest, got a green candle. There was an indecisive candle, but then we followed it with a green candle. You could have taken that as a hint that we may push forward. And then you could have rode this little push forward to where we are now and possibly taken a little scalp trade off of that. Our stochastic is pushing down. RSI is starting to weaken. That VWAP is starting to favor bearish, so just exercise caution. If it continues to drop here, momentum will weaken. Money flow can go into the red, and we could end up dropping away. The MPP does say there's a higher chance of making a higher low, but if that VWAP does not recover at that point, then we will end up pushing away. So we will delete this now that this has played out, just so we don't get confused. Over on graph for the daily, looks like we really didn't get much momentum here. We have an indecisive candle, but it does look like we could roll away. We did try to hit that 26424 like we said, but we stopped just shy of it. Stochastic does want to roll away. Again, that's why you don't go for the max pain or max gain. RSI is pushing up, momentum is gaining strength, money flows in the green, and VWAP is starting to pull back. So I would just watch that VWAP. If it ends up breaking down and staying in this lower time frame, we have lower highs and lower lows. Then momentum will continue to fall off a cliff, and money flow could go from green to red, and then we would see those higher time frames break away, and that may end up pushing us right around that 22 area, like the MPP says. Is a lower probability though, so we would need to push off here to get that higher probability of a higher low, and then potentially break that 26.424 and push up toward that 30 like we said is possible. Momentum is starting to push down due to the VWAP breaking down, so keep a close eye on that VWAP. If it stays bearish, it's likely we would drop away. Over on Anchor for the daily, we are breaking our resistance of our 40.49 like we've been saying to watch out for. So if you're taking some profits, that'd be a good idea. Stochastic does want to round away though. RSI is pushing up. Keep an eye on that stochastic. VWAP is pulling back. Momentum is bullish, but it could start to round away as that VWAP is starting to lose some steam. And remember, momentum lags behind VWAP. Money flow is starting to push down, so overall I would exercise caution, watch these lower time frames. But over on the 1 hour, we do have a retest of our support and a strong green candle. So if followed by a stronger green candle that pushes us forward, we may make a rounding bottom, fill that gap, and attempt to make a higher high, in which case we could create a bullish continuation and make that push forward. We did mention a few days ago I would watch this 51.72 and somewhere in these like 40 ranges. So if we zoom out here, we have like 44.78, we have 47.69. These are consolidation ranges just based on these candles over in this range. So those would be zones we would have to overcome. But if we overcome those, that would be what would push us to that 5 cent level. Our momentum is pulling back. VWAP is pushing down. Money flow is in the bullish territory, but if that VWAP stays bearish, we could still reject this and see a red candle next. Again, that's why you want to watch for confirmation. So over on XRP for the daily, we have more indecision, possibly cementing that resistance area. Keep an eye on that. We did say watch for a push around that 450. We did get that push, and now we're kind of pulling back, so just keep an eye on things. Stochastic does want to round away. Our RSI is flat. VWAP is starting to push down, but we could make a higher low. If that VWAP makes a bounce off our neutral, momentum will remain bullish, money flow will remain green, and we could push up, but we need those lower time frames to be in agreement with that. Over on the 1 hour, we just keep bouncing around this trend line. We could have higher highs and higher lows, so we could be trying to make a bullish continuation here after making that bearish continuation. So keep an eye on that. It could try to push us up. These actually did connect pretty straight, so that may be more of that descending channel. Remember, when the highs and lows connect, you do get a descending channel that pushes you up. Stochastic is starting to fall, RSI is dropping away, momentum is rounding, and that VWAP is starting to favor bearish, so I would watch that VWAP. With those lower highs and lower lows, that will cause momentum to continue to drop, and money flow could go from green to red. If that money flow holds in the red, then remember, the daily would be in jeopardy, as we probably have that 4 hour still in the red. 4 hour is in the green, but not very strong. 2 hour is about to weaken. So if the 1 and 2 hour weaken, we could start to see the 4 hour weaken. And remember, when the 1, 2, and 4 hour are all in confluence, they're all the same, then we're likely going to see those bigger candles on the daily. Over on algo, last but not least, unless we have special requests, stochastic is starting to drop away, momentum is starting to taper off, so just keep an eye on that VWAP. That VWAP needs to bounce off our neutral if momentum and money flow are going to continue to get pushed forward here. So over on the 1 hour, we do have a consolidation range here, so we could be trying to make a bull flag. Kind of hard to call it, as we could have like 3 different patterns. You could have a bullish pattern, a bearish pattern, and then just some indecision trying to create a new bullish pattern. Again, TA is an art form. It all depends on how you're looking at. So over on the 1 hour, it does look like our MPP does say we'll have a higher low. Again, we need to solidify that and make a bounce to get a bullish continuation. A bullish continuation in this case could try to push us forward. We have quite a jump up. So I would watch areas like the 51, 52, and then somewhere around that 60-cent range. If we can overcome all that, then I'd start watching even numbers like 70, 75, 80. But back over, zooming into current price action, that VWAP is breaking into the bearish territory after trying to get a little bit of a bullish run. So despite us making this consolidation, if that VWAP stays bearish, momentum will continue to fall, money flow could break red, and we could continue to drop down. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I appreciate it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and join us in the Discord in the link down below.